it's your girl Lauren and welcome back to another video. For today, I'm really proud of myself with this video idea and we are ranking the most popular and most hyped up plants in the market right now. Besides my love for plants, I watch a lot of lifestyle YouTubers, and there was this trend going on a few months ago where there was this 5-category template and people would rank things from their most questionable makeup looks to the most questionable videos and moments in their career to TikTokers and different things like that. And I was like, could I somehow apply this to plants? I asked you guys on Instagram as well for your feedback on what you thought the most popular plants are right now, and we are just going to talk through them, and I'm going to give my thoughts and everything. And disclaimer, this is just meant to be a fun, entertaining video. If there is a plant that I particularly don't vibe with for some certain reason, but you absolutely love it, then, you know, that's okay. That's cool. You know, this is just for fun. And of course, as y'all know, I am just a plant hobbyist. I am not a botanist or anything. This is just my opinion. Okay, but without further ado, let's get going to the video. The first category is that this plant pops off. It deserves a round of applause. I love this plant so much. I'm stand for it, and it's one of my absolute faves. The next category is I'm still here for it. I should have put an exclamation point because it could sound like I'm just meh about it, but I'm totally still here for this plant. I think it's great. I really like it, you know, just not as much as the first one. The third category is I'm not mad at it, you know? I'm not mad at it. It's a good plant. I may or may want it in the future, but I'm not particularly saving my money for it. It's kind of like the neutral category. It can just go either way. The next category is it's not you, it's me. It's just not my personal taste. It's not my personal taste. I know other people may like it, but it's not working for me. And the last one is thank you next. I respect the plant, it's beautiful, but it's just not for me. So I'm gonna pass along to someone else that I know will like it so much better. So those are the 5 categories, and we are officially starting off with the first plant. The first plant that I am kicking off this video with officially is the Philodendron Strawberry Shake. I have the tiny little square photo right here for the purposes of this video, but also I'm sure it'll be somewhere on screen. Now, this has been a really requested plant, I feel like starting 5 months ago, at least in my opinion, in the country that I'm in the time that I am recording this. I tried capturing a photo that shows all the elements, and this is more obviously a mature mother plant. A lot of people like this plant because you get so many colors, right? You get kind of a yellow green to a light green, dark green. You can get pink, sometimes an orange. The leaves could either be just one solid color of it, or there can be beautiful sectoral patches within the leaf. It's kind of just, you know, all over the place. It's a little bit of a mystery. And a lot of people like that. A lot of people love variegated, beautiful philodendrons, and it's been really popular. I do think in this mature stage, the leaves are beautiful. The plant is absolutely gorgeous, and I really do love it. That's why I have one of my own. But it is a baby form. It is very small. And don't get me wrong, I am not selling this plant, I am not trading it, it's here to stay, but the baby plant just doesn't give me as much excitement as the big plant. I know that kind of sucks hearing that. Some people are like, what are you talking about? And some people are probably sympathizing with me. But that small baby plant cost me, you know, it cost me a lot of money. And a baby plant, at least at this point in time, I'm filming this in the country that I'm in, costs like $500. So be prepared if you do love a philodendron strawberry shake and want a more mature form. It's gonna cost in the high 3 digits or even in the 4 digits. But I'm going to put it in the category that I'm still here for it. I love the plant. I think it's beautiful. You know me, guys. I love the philodendrons, but the baby form just doesn't do it as much for me. But I can't wait to see what it looks like in the next 3 to 4 years. I'm actually going to move on and talk about another philodendron. Probably half of these are philodendrons, and that wasn't by choice. Obviously, a lot of popular plants in the market right now are philodendrons. So I'm going to talk about this one next, and it is a Philodendron Gabby. This has really been a popular plant, I feel like, the past 4 to 5 months too. And this is a cultivar that I think is specific and original to Gabriella plants. Now, if you aren't familiar with Gabriella plants, they are a very established and well-known plant shop. I don't remember where they're located, but they have restocks every Wednesday, I think at 7 p.m. my time, and they are a good, reputable business. And a lot of people have been so crazy and excited about this specific variety. Now, I want to get this information right, so I'm actually referring to the kind of variety poster, the variety poster from Gabriella Plants, and it says that the Gabby is a spore selectively cultivated by and original to Gabriella plants. The variegation pattern is light green and cream. Often entire leaves can become cream in color and will shrink drastically in size and growth speed. That last part doesn't make me sound very hopeful. It just sounds like the size will just not last, obviously, and the color as well. But you can see it is a beautiful plant. The thing is, though, about this plant is that it's very expensive. I would say a 2 to 3 leaf rooted cutting is maybe around $250 to $500. I would say that's probably due to the fact that Gabriella Plants is the original maker, the original maker of this variety. It's original to them, so that price is what justifies the commercial rarity. Again, I'm not a botanist. I'm just trying to give you guys context on why the price can be so high. It is a gorgeous, beautiful plant. And for that reason, I think I'm gonna put it in the it's not you, it's me category. It's the price, you know, it's the price of the plant that's just really killing me. Maybe one day, you know, in the next 6 years, when this plant price kind of goes down a little bit, I'll totally buy it. I just think it's beautiful. I really do. But until the price goes down, I don't see myself getting this anytime soon. Okay, let's move on from philodendrons for a bit and talk about another very popular and hyped up plant, which is the variegated string of hearts. Let me pull the picture up. This is what I have right here, and you guys can see it on the template. I have this plant as well. And yeah, since it's close to me, I will just show you guys. I have it in not the best pot per se, but let's see. This is the plant, and then it's kind of trailed off into 2 separate vines, and you can see, yeah, those little leaves right there. Now, this plant, I really like it. I adore it. A lot of the color in these little hearts will be anywhere from completely pink around the edges to a little pink and white, or sometimes the hearts can be full on white, just depending on how much light you give it and what your growing conditions are. Now, I don't believe this price is too expensive. Of course, that's relative to my opinion. You can get baby cuttings, and when I say baby cuttings, it's probably a couple of inches, like maybe that If you can see that for contents, that's probably 3 or 4 inches for maybe around the 2-digit range. Sorry, I had to think about it and look at the picture. And if you want to get more substantial size, of course, you're talking about the 3 digits, but I don't see it being exorbitantly, am I saying that right? Exorbitantly, we're just gonna go with that. I can't see it being exorbitantly high and just stay around the low 300s. Mine kind of looks like little butts now, to be honest. It kind of looks like little butts than little hearts, because in the beginning it was so cute. And it's kind of looking more like white little butts, you know? And I appreciate butts. I don't discriminate against butts, but it's a really easy plant. That was a weird tangent, right? It's a really easy plant to take care of, and it just produces the most beautiful leaves. So I am going to say that, you know, I'm still here for it. I love this plant. I don't think I'll ever get rid of it. I'm not in love with it, but of course, you know, I really like it. The next plant I am putting in as one of the most popular and hyped up plants right now is the Epi Premium Ponatum Albo Variegata. I think I got that order right. The variegated white Epipremnum Ponatum. Now, you're looking at the picture on the screen right now as I'm looking at it on my computer, and this is a baby form. Of course, you can't see the fenestrations. It is not a more mature species, obviously, and I like the white variegation. I think it's nice. It kind of reminds me of the variegation that a Syngonium podophyllum albo has. It kind of has sectoral sections along with some more mottled areas, and overall, you know, it looks really nice. It really does. This plant to me is kind of similar to a plant I mentioned previously, to where you can get a baby cutting in the high 2-digit range. And then of course, if you want a bigger size plant, you're probably talking $100 to $200, depending of course what kind of plant is being sold in the market. And that's the majority of the plants that I've seen out there. I don't recall any mature. We should put a counter of how many times I've said the word mature already. Let me use another word. I haven't seen a bigger size of this specimen sold with the fenestrations. If you guys have, let me know what the cost was in your particular country, city, and so forth, because I'm very curious. And if you're looking for a Epipremnum Ponatum that has those fenestrations, I'm assuming it would be in the mid to high triple digits. I think because I just love those fenestrations that I personally would want to wait until I found one that had that. I would say, you know, I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. I have been close to purchasing this plant, but I'm not, you know, super in love with it. I have a lot to say about this next plant, and I think by the way I speak about it, you'll probably know what category I am going to put it in. It is, in my opinion, the most popular and most requested philodendron that's been here for a few years now, and it is the PPP, the Philodendron Pink Princess. This plant is very special to me. It is the first uncommon plant that I ever got, and my reaction was priceless. I love this plant. Now, we know the PPP is nothing new. It has been popular for a few years now. In my opinion, the past several months, it's gotten down a little bit as far as demand. People still obviously request it. I see it requested still fairly often, but I feel like demand has decreased a little bit. The reason why I think this plant has been so popular for so many years now is because A, it's a philodendron. I think it's one of the most popular tropical species to take care of. It's pretty tolerant to over and under watering, not too finicky about humidity and lighting, and the pink color is just gorgeous. In my opinion, most of my pink princess leaves have big chunks of pink variegation. I can't wait for my first half moon, and it's a pretty prolific grower. I've actually cut it back a few times and sold it as cuttings, as rooted cuttings to people, and just spreading the love. It has a special place in my heart, and with all the things that I mentioned, you can't go wrong with it. So I am putting it as the first plant in the pop off category because this plant just pops off. There's nothing really bad that I have to say about it. We are at the halfway point right now, and to celebrate the midpoint in this video, we are talking about an Anthurium. Now, y'all know that Anthuriums and I have a very unique relationship, you know? Some of my children really like me and some of them completely hate my guts, but it wouldn't be, you know, a correct video if I didn't mention some Anthuriums that I think are really popular and really requested right now. And the one I'm talking about right now is the Anthurium Regale. This may be another spoiler alert because I actually did include this particular variety in my 2021 rare plant wish list that I made back in November of last year. And I still love it for the same reasons, obviously. I love the heart-shaped leaves, the sinus to the top of the ears. I know those aren't the correct terms, are just so pronounced, and it makes it a show-stopping piece. What really gets me on this particular variety is the veins. It's the vein structure. It looks so ornate, so gorgeous and beautiful. This plant just looks like a work of art. Now, for a medium-sized plant, it'll probably cost you $300, and I think that's really fair. It's a pretty good size, and to get this beautiful kind of foliage, I think is worth it. So I am going to say that this plant also pops off. I've been wanting to get, this is a little bit of a tangent, I've been wanting to get more into Anthuriums. I really want an Anthurium dorayaki. Those big silver crystal veins are gorgeous, and I really want a Regale, but I'm still trying to gain my confidence better with the Anthuriums I currently have. I just give it the world, and they still kind of, you know, don't really vibe with me, but I really want them to like me. I want them to vibe with me, but I do think this is a plant I'll probably get by the end of the year. I just need to grow my confidence, and until I feel ready that I can take care of this gorgeous plant, I'm not going to purchase it, but it still pops off, and I am a stan. It is the time now to talk about this plant that some of you guys are probably waiting for, because if you are just getting into plants, getting into commercially uncommon plants, then this is honestly the first plant that you will see everywhere, and it is none other than the Monstera Albo Borjesiana, the white variegated Monstera. How can you not do a video about the most hyped up and popular plants without talking about this particular species, right? Now, this is nothing new as well. Again, I started my plant journey in April of 2019, so you guys tell me, if you've been in the plant market, in the plant hobby for a long time, what became more popular first, the PPP or the Albo? I think it's the Albo, but you know, fact check me, because obviously I wasn't there, so I don't know. But this plant has been in the game for the longest time, and honestly, who can blame them, right? Monsteras are gorgeous. They give you beautiful fenestrations. I love Monsteras. I've been wanting to get more Monsteras in my collection lately. With this specific subvariety and subspecies, it gives you really chunky sectoral variegations of white. Absolutely beautiful. Of course, there can be more mottled areas, and the variegation in the foliage, I mean, there's nothing else to say. It's gorgeous. That's why people love them. Now, this could just be a me thing. Very much so. My Albo will not grow. It will not grow. I've checked the roots. They're healthy, no root rot. I have put it in great lighting conditions. I thought it was humidity, so I put it in my greenhouse cabinet. Still has done nothing. While my Thai constellation is just thriving, y'all. It's just completely thriving. When I went to Zone 9 Tropicals, I talked to Brent. He has an Albo as well, and it made me feel better because he experiences the same thing, that his Albo grows at a snail's pace. If you guys have that same experience with yours, please let me know in the comments, because I just want to see if I'm crazy or not. But because of my personal experience with this plant, I'm gonna put it in the it's not you, it's me category. It is, it's me, it's my experience. I don't know what it is. It's just, it doesn't like me. We are on the tail end of this video. We are nearing the finish line. We are nearing the light, so stay with me, guys. We are talking about another Anthurium, the incredible Anthurium Luxurians. And if there was a plant that I thought just could be a standalone piece that grabs your attention, like a masterpiece in a museum, that's my analogy, it would be this plant, this Anthurium Luxurians. I am in awe whenever I look at it, honestly. The ridges on this plant and like the texture of it, I think is such a showstopper. It gives a 3D look. It's so majestic, and I've seen so many kind of different colors of this plant online while I was doing my research. I don't know if there are different varieties underneath this, like, you know, with the Philodendron Variegated, for example, there's so many different sub-varieties all within that. And I wonder if it's the same thing with Luxurians. Again, I'm not an expert, because some of the leaves, when they are fully developed, are like almost a black chocolate to a dark green and to your normal kind of standard green when you think about the colors of leaves. When the plant grows out, it's kind of this burgundy bronze color, and it just gives me so much life. It gives me so much life. And again, this is Anthurium that I really want. The price tag, though, for a majestic, gorgeous plant like this is $700 to $900, but it does give you a pretty medium-sized established leaf. So that's a good thing about it. I do think that the price, in my opinion, of this plant is worth it relative to its size. I'm not knowledgeable on the background of this plant as far as its rarity and so forth, but just what I've seen, and in my personal opinion, this plant pops off. I think it pops off. Now, will I ever get this plant? Will I ever get this plant anytime soon? Probably not. For sure not. Maybe in like 2 years from now, guys, because your girl definitely doesn't have $700 to $900 to spend. But this plant is beautiful. Every time someone is selling it on Facebook, when it's a purge or an auction, everyone is just in awe about it. I'm in awe about it. I have the same feelings, and it is a dream plant, honestly. A dream plant, one of the holy grail plants. I'm putting it in that category. If there was a holy grail category, I would put the Anthurium Luxurians in it. I'm gonna go ahead and finish off the Philodendron section. And I don't know, this one's kind of a gamble. I may get a nice debate over this specific variety. It is a variety, in my opinion, have seen become popular in the past 3 months, and it is a variegated Philodendron Micans. You are seeing it on the screen here. I really don't know how popular this specific plant is outside of the US, so if there's anyone watching anywhere else in the world on this video, let me know if you've heard of this plant and how popular it is, if applicable, where you live. Now, I did have a standard Philodendron Micans, super chill, really great plant, very easy. I would think that it's very similar, or the care is very similar to the variegated version. Of course, be more conscientious about light because it is variegated and you want to preserve that as much as possible. Okay, my thoughts. Now, besides the price tag associated to this plant, and again, I don't know the rarity and the background of this plant and where it's native to or how it's made or how the variegation comes to be, I'm just not a fan of the foliage. I don't mind a mottled look, but for instance, in this photo and a couple of the photos that I've found, that's how the foliage looks. And I'm just more of, if I had to put it in my own words, I love the variegation of a Thai constellation. I'm about the sectoral chunks and then kind of that starry patterned look. There's just something about the foliage that I particularly don't gravitate to, and that's my own personal taste. Regarding the price, for 2 to 3 leaves, it could be the exact same cost of a Philodendron Gabby. So we're talking $300 to $500 just from what I've seen. Now, because of the fact that I'm not a super huge fan of the foliage and that and because of that, I don't really care to purchase it. Guys, this is the first plant that I'm putting in the thank you next category. I am. I know a lot of people want this plant and, I will pass on. I respect the plant. I'm sure it's beautiful, it's great. Maybe I would have a different opinion if I saw it in person, but just with my preferences and what I like, I am putting it in the bottom category. This is it, the final plant, and my camera is about to die. It is the Musa Aeae, the variegated banana plant. You guys know that this is a plant that I have in my collection. I said it before in so many videos, especially in my top 10 favorite plants in my collection video, that if there was a plant that I would just take and run because it meant that much to me, it would be this plant. I adore it. When it comes to the foliage, the leaves, like I've said so many times, look like a beautiful piece of artwork. It looks like watercolor. The brush strokes and the beautiful gradients of white to green are absolutely beautiful and awe-striking. And other than that, it's a really easy care plant. They act the same as a regular non-variegated banana plant. Just make sure to give it a lot of light and water it when you need to, and it will honestly flourish. From when I got this plant, which I think was in October, November, it was a really long plant as far as like the stalk. It had a baby leaf, and from now until then, or from then until now, I have 5 beautiful leaves. The thing about this plant though, which is what sets everyone back, is the price. Now, I feel so lucky that I got it as an import plant at one of like the biggest steals I will probably get in my entire life, but this plant is very expensive. For a full size, like what you see in this picture, like the one I have right now, it'll be like $700 to $800. I have to say that this plant pops off. It just gives me so much life. I don't know what, I think out of all of the 4 that I've put in the top category, this one does have to take the cake, and that is why I am ending this video with the variegated banana plant, the Misa Aeae. That is it, guys. I hope you liked this video and this kind of creative idea that I took a spin on from lifestyle YouTube videos, and see what my thoughts are on just ranking some of the most popular and most hyped up plants in the market. Now, I think I only talked about 10 or 11 plants, and there's so many other plants that are still hyped up and super popular. So if you want to see a part 2 of this kind of video, let me know in the comments below, because this was a really fun video to make. I loved getting creative with my kind of template and hearing from you guys what you think the most popular plants are right now in this point of time. If you are a plant lover and love my videos, please like it, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and if you think any other people that you know would enjoy my videos, please send this to them. That would mean the world to me. And I will see you guys next time.